Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mass Effect here on the Game Professor channel. I'm your host, the Game Professor, and after taking down the Thorian last time, we still have a little bit more to talk to Shiala about, so we're going to do that, and then we will get back on to the Normandy and debrief with everyone on the crew. So let's get to it. Let's first ask her about the Thorian.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Thorian?
When the creature enveloped me, I became part of it, but I still don't truly understand it. So alien, so ancient. Its exact age is impossible to know. It measured time differently. 10,000 years of hibernation broken by a few frantic centuries of activity. Its mind was awesome, magnificent. It transcended all classification. And now it is gone.
Yeah, you sound almost sad.
Don't tell me you feel sorry for that thing.
The Thorian was a unique life form. A sentient being that lived for 50,000 years, maybe more. There is nothing even remotely like it in the known galaxy.
Very true.
I'm grateful you saved me from a life of thraldom. Yet I cannot help but feel some sorrow for the loss of such a rare and remarkable creature.
Very true. Yeah, it's incredibly unfortunate that that had to happen. Let's do personal questions.
I want to know more about you.
There is nothing remarkable about me. I was merely one of Matriarch Benezia's disciples. For nearly 2 centuries I followed her, learning at her feet. When Benezia revealed her plan to join Saren, she gave her disciples a choice. Only those who were willing had to follow her. Many felt her plan was too dangerous. But I believed in her. I thought she could turn Saren away from his insanity. Instead, we joined him in it.
Very unfortunate, but also good information about Benezia. What can you tell us about Sovereign?
Tell me more about this ship Saren has.
Sovereign is alien. I do not know how it was built or where it comes from. Its design does not match that of any known spacefaring species. It dwarfs any vessel in the Citadel or Alliance fleets. Its weapons are devastating. Its defenses virtually impenetrable. With it, Saren believes he is unstoppable.
That sounds like he might be. It controls minds?
You said Saren uses it to manipulate his followers.
The indoctrination. There is an energy about Sovereign. You feel drawn to the ship. It makes Saren's arguments more persuasive, more compelling. Spend enough time in Sovereign's presence and you will lose yourself. There is no other way to explain it.
Okay, very interesting. What can you tell me about Saren?
What else can you tell me about Saren?
There is little I could tell you that you do not already know. He's powerful, he's charismatic, and he is dangerous.
Yeah.
Once I followed him, blind to his true nature. But now I see he's leading the galaxy into an age of darkness and suffering.
Okay. Then finally, what can you tell me about Benezia?
I want to know more about Benezia.
Benezia was greatly respected among our people. A powerful biotic, even for an Asari. She was widely known as a teacher of philosophy and religion. She always sought the paths of peace and harmony. She joined with Saren because she hoped to turn him away from his path of destruction.
Yeah, it backfired for sure. And I do stuff like this, like knowing more about why Benezia joined Saren, even though we're not getting it from Benezia yet. This is yet another reason why I think it's important to have Liara around, because I want her to know that her mother didn't go into this decision lightly. That it was not a case of her just being like, oh, let's follow Saren. I want her to know that her mother was trying to do the right thing.
Instead, she became one of his most powerful allies.
As I mentioned before, Matriarch Benezia underestimated Saren. Be sure you do not make the same mistake.
No, I won't. But what should I do with you?
Now that you're free of the Thorian, what are you planning to do next?
If you allow it, I would like to stay here with the colonists. They have suffered greatly, and I played a role in their suffering. I would like to make amends.
Yeah, that definitely sounds good. And it definitely is a noble idea.
The colonists will need all the help they can get. They'll be happy to have you on their side.
Thank you, Commander. May fortune smile upon you.
All right.
You did it. With the thorium gone, we can start rebuilding for ourselves again. And we're free of exogenes threats. We're back to being just a little nowhere colony. Thank you, Commander.
All right, Juliana. Let's very quickly give Gavin his stuff.
Any luck finding my workstation out in the ruins?
Yep, I found your data.
I managed to find the data and transfer it to your OSD.
That's very good news indeed. Thank you.
No problem.
I was there anyway. It was the least I could do.
Well, I appreciate it. Here, you've certainly earned this. Thanks
Excellent.
again, Commander.
Sweet. All right, and I'm not going to talk to anybody else, because really it's just a lot of, oh, thanks for helping us. We've already seen what Ladra had, and he didn't have anything that was particularly useful to us. But we are just going to get ourselves back to the Normandy. Then we can chat with all of the crew about everything that just happened. And I think we'll get a little bit of an update from the council as well, which frankly is always welcome in my opinion. That's right, this way. It's been a long time since I have looked at this area. And hopefully we'll be able to get some even better weapons now. I think I have a good amount of money right now. Fingers crossed. All right. Back on to the Normandy.
Decontamination in progress. Decontamination in progress.
All right. We are decontaminated.
Decontamination in progress.
But we already are. That's an interesting angle to look
Commander,
at Shepard's face.
you look pale. Are you suffering any ill effects from the cipher?
I feel strange.
The cipher shook me up a bit.
I might be able to help you. I am an expert on the Protheans. If I join my consciousness to yours, maybe we can make some sense of it.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth a shot.
Do it. Hurry. We don't have much time.
That was a glitch there. I don't know if you noticed that, but
Relax, Commander.
the irises and pupils of Shepard's eyes were gone. And we see it again.
That was incredible. All this time, all my research, yet I never dreamed. I am sorry. The images were so vivid. I never imagined the experience would be so intense. You are remarkably strong-willed, Commander. What you have been through, what you have seen, would have destroyed a lesser mind.
Did you see anything?
The beacon on Eden Prime must have been badly damaged. Large parts of the vision are missing. The data transferred into the commander's mind is incomplete.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure that cut off the end of the vision in this, and I've never seen that happen before, so not sure what that was. There was nothing useful?
You sure you didn't come across any kind of clue or hint? Something we might have missed?
Everything I saw, you already know. You were right about the Reapers. The Protheans were destroyed by a race of sentient machines. I think it is obvious there is a connection between the Reapers, the Prothean extinction, and the conduit. But I did not see anything that would help us find it.
Okay, now what?
What's our next move?
I was able to interpret the data relayed through your vision. What was there, at least. But something was missing. Saren must have the missing information. Maybe he found another beacon. If we can find the missing data from your vision, I can... I am sorry. The joining is exhausting. I should go to the medical bay and lie down for a moment.
Are you okay?
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest. Somewhere quiet.
All right, go ahead.
We're done here. Dismissed.
I've sent off the Feros report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Yep, do it.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, Exogeny should have told us about the Thorian. It made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been a good idea. It's better off this way.
The Thorian liked to enslave minds. Anyone who studied it would have ended up as one of its thralls.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths.
Oh,
to
come
help a
on,
human
man.
colony.
I help everyone.
Being human had nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye, Commander. We will be waiting for your next report.
Oh, I am willing to make sacrifices. Come on. Alright, let's see here. So, we are going to go around and talk to the crew then. And we'll start with Kaidan. Then we'll go down to the cargo area. And then we'll finish up with Liara. Give her a chance to rest some. Alright, Kaidan.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
I'm listening.
Let's hear it, Lieutenant. I'm always open to my officers.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make.
Okay.
I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
Are you concerned for me?
It's a personal observation, Kaidan.
I don't want to step on anyone else's toes, especially if you're if I have misread your interests.
My interests?
All right, Alenko. Off the record, permission to speak candidly, cross my heart and hope to die. What are you talking about?
Dr. Tassoni, ma'am. There's a lower deck rumor that she's interested in you as more than a source of Prothean data.
Okay.
She's a very interesting lady, to my tastes, but I never claimed to be big on alien culture.
Are you jealous?
You seem awfully worried about my personal affairs.
It's just that we don't have much downtime these days. I like being around you, but I
Oh
don't
boy.
want to take up your personal time.
Oh boy. I'm gonna end up roping him in as well, aren't I? It's not like that.
Look, there's nothing between Liara and me. What's the real issue here, Kaidan?
You're right. Sorry, it wasn't. Liara's not my main concern. I'm not questioning any decision you've made, Shepard. Let me be clear about that.
Okay.
It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. You get my meaning?
Bad experience?
Talk to me, Kaidan. You got a little black rain cloud sitting over your head.
Oh, the snark is so good.
You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans.
Yeah?
Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Alright. Experts?
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They
Interesting.
were afraid of what people back home would think. asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
Yeah, why not the Asari?
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
You had a bad teacher.
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, "I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father."
Ah!
Well, I told him
Great.
that he wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to new beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died.
Wow.
The point of all of this, I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
Why tell me?
So why are you telling me this? Is there something I can do to help you get over it?
I'm 32, Shepard. You don't serve as long as I have without coming to terms with yourself. You also learn that if someone is special to you, you help them. Try to keep them from making mistakes.
I'm gonna see if I can nip his interest in Shepard in the bud. You're assuming a lot.
So you think you have leave to talk like we're more than officers?
I got some signals. Maybe some static too, I guess.
Oh boy.
I'm out of line. Just say the word.
Oh god, I didn't want to have to make this decision right now. 'Cause, I'll say I'm interested, but not now.
Now isn't the ideal time. But I want to talk about this, Caden.
I get you, Shepard. I don't make a habit of complicating the chain of command. Just think about what I said.
Alright, tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach can take it.
Yeah.
One of my cousins has an agribusiness. I was thinking of calling him. Maybe he can get some shipments into Feros.
That'd be good.
I mean, now that they're cut off from the company.
Yeah. And see if he has anything else.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
We'll talk later, Caden.
Alright.
I'd like that.
Okay, so yeah, I think that I've inadvertently roped in his interests as well, so we might get a unique interaction because I'm not going to give up trying to romance Liara because she is my OTP. I do not give up on my girl. But let's talk to everyone else, see what Garrus has to say.
Commander, how are you?
You and CSEC.
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Such as?
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people.
Okay.
I guess my father had something to do with it, too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reason.
Really?
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Yeah, I see.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules.
Yeah.
If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
I would say not true. I think that the Spectres are a perfect representation of self-governance. And it's why you have to be really careful about who you allow to become a Spectre.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
All right. Let's talk to Ashley then.
Commander?
How are we doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about the worst place for a colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. And can we talk?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Caden, huh?
Are you interested in the Lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Tell me about your family.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Tell me about your sisters.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With
Wow.
4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Yeah, I bet. Tell me about your dad.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class.
Wow.
He was real proud when I met Chief. First thing he did was salute.
And your mom?
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
That's unfortunate. And what can you tell me about your home?
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, definitely sounds familiar. And to clarify what I mean about unfortunate that her mom had to give up her career to raise the girls, it's like, yeah, support your spouse, but I'm sure there could have been a way for her to still pursue her interests while raising the kids. It's I want to know more about the character now so that I could understand more of her decision. But yeah, all this definitely sounds familiar, minus the sibling part for Shepard.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Tell me about it.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Yeah, no means no. Well, tell me about the vid mails.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Okay. But yeah, no means no.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's problematic.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed.
Oh boy.
She levered Mike face first into a tree. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense.
I dig it.
I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely think any involvement of the police.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony.
Okay.
I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
I bet. I mean, also, but if... That's the other thing. If he didn't do anything... I'm not sure that, like, actually do anything... Or, like, get to the point of doing anything. I don't know that the police could have done anything. But yeah, tell me about the self-defense.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into.
Okay.
They do great things to her figure, though.
Yeah, what about you?
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Alright. Definitely good. But yeah, what happened with Mike?
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell.
I mean,
Before
not
he took him to the
inaccurate,
hospital,
technically.
Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying.
Good.
And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Yeah, definitely. Where was your father at this point?
Where was your father during this? Wasn't your family stationed near him?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
You read poetry.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around.
I like how defensive she
was my
gets.
Dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
It's a good piece.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home.
Wow.
Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
From the afterlife.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now.
Okay.
That's not a problem with you, is it?
No.
That I believe in God?
Not my place to judge.
Your beliefs are your business. I'm your commanding officer, not your moral compass.
I appreciate that, Skipper. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
All right.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Ooh, and we got a level up from that. All right, so talk to Rex now.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
That we do.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
You knew Saren?
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought I was important.
Okay.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
Okay, so he recruited you.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
Yeah, what was he doing?
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Okay. What was up with the ship?
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
What was the cargo?
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big.
Weird.
If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it.
Very
That's
weird.
Why I didn't mention it sooner.
Okay.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right.
That they were.
Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Alright.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Definitely some good background for Rex there. And then we will talk to Tally. And yeah, this is going to be a slightly longer episode too as well, guys.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Yeah, you sound down.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me. Especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
It's too quiet to sleep?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down.
Makes
I guess
sense.
You don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard.
Definitely understandable.
But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Yeah, I would say that maybe that's the point.
Sounds like the pilgrimage isn't just about finding resources for the fleet. Maybe it's about teaching you to appreciate your people and culture.
Yeah.
You're probably right. We Quarians spend our whole lives traveling. But really, we never leave home. The pilgrimage has given me a whole new perspective on our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you're gonna go back, right?
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Yeah.
I should go.
See you later.
Alright. So, definitely filling out the backstories for our 3 aliens down here more, and more for both Ashley and Caden as well. Come on. There we go. But finally, time to talk to Liara, and we will find out if we have really roped in both her and Caden to potential romance. Oh boy. I really didn't want to rope Caden in, but this will create an amusing interaction potentially. So I won't complain about that. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to Liara, and that will finish off this episode. Alright, Liara, how are you doing?
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
I was worried.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She's the best.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Yes. Tell me more about you.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
Yeah, we are short-lived, especially compared to the Asari.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
Intimidating, huh?
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully.
Yeah.
You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm trying.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You could have asked me.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again.
Oh, Liara.
I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
This will be something to potentially look at down the line, but the way she said that line is different from how she says it with Broshep. And I know that technically FemShep was the first Shepard created when they were doing early character modeling. It was with FemShep, but there was something more deeply meaningful with that, with how she said that. So yeah, like I said, she's my OTP, so I want to believe that.
Are you sure you're interested in me, or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
It's not serious.
The Lieutenant and I are just friends. Nothing more.
Yep, we're roping them both in.
Then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
I'm attracted to you.
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
It doesn't have to.
These things never make sense. They just happen and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
Yeah, she definitely speaks differently to FemShep than she does to BroShep. If and when the remake comes out, we'll do a BroShep playthrough for that. And we can try to do some comparisons of how she speaks. I'll protect you.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. I need some time.
I understand.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
And we've already talked about Benezia and Asari culture the last time, so we will end that there.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Alright, so with that, everybody, that is going to finish off this episode. I apologize for the length of the episodes this week. I really just wanted to get these two things done ASAP, because it was bugging me that I didn't get anything up for Mass Effect last week. But with that, everybody, we will call this episode here. Thank you as always for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you'll always know when I have new videos coming out, and follow the links in the description to the Facebook page and Discord server so that you can join the conversation. But until next time, everybody, this is your Game Professor signing off. I'll see you next time.